This segment of DelmarvaLife is sponsored by CustomFit360.
All right, before you get your workout clothes or your weights or start making that stellar playlist that pumps you up, there is something important you need to consider. The fuel that you put into your body is one of the most important first steps to your fitness journey.
Yeah, to some it might seem obvious, but nutrition dictates so many aspects regarding the energy we spend while we work out, and it can be easy to slip into bad habits while we're on that journey. So here to share a little more on the subject is our friend Eric Schreiber, owner of CustomFit360. He is joined by Jordan Wheatstruck, a fitness professional. Welcome both of you to Delmarva.
Thank you.
Hey, so why do you think it is that nutrition gets overlooked when people start a fitness journey?
So I think it's because whenever people think of fitness, they just think of being fit, which relates to, working out. So sometimes people, kind of shy away from the food aspect of it,
Right.
and they have this like mentality that they can eat whatever they want and just like out exercise a bad diet instead of, looking at it the other way around.
So that makes sense.
I also think it's nutrition is the harder part.
Absolutely.
Exercise, it's easier to get into exercise
To have a routine.
than it is to change everything about your lifestyle outside of the gym.
Okay.
It's much more difficult to do that.
Have you heard any myths or misconceptions come from people that you kind of had to knock the struts right out from under?
I mean, I have one like super recent. I have a client who's on a weight loss journey. He's trying to lose some weight. So he was basically not eating a lot. He was cutting his calories by a lot. Didn't have energy. And the other day I noticed, we had a conversation, and I noticed that he was lifting heavier weights. He was getting through his sets better, wasn't as fatigued. And I said, man, what's going on? You're doing really great today. And he's like, well, I might have started to eat more food and I've lost more weight. And I'm like, so you're eating more, you've lost more weight, and you have more energy. So I think people think that they need to instantly cut all their calories
Right.
to lose weight. And that's
So let's talk protein. Why is protein so important when you're on this journey?
I feel like I could blab like for hours about protein, but protein is really what's going to not only help maintain your muscle, but it's going to help grow your muscle. Your body also burns the most calories working to digest that protein than it does any other macronutrients. So, really trying to aim to eat your body weight in grams of protein is ideal, for your muscle mass, muscle gain, lean body recomp. I could go on and on about it.
Yeah, a big topic. So is there a way that we can gauge our current diet as to whether or not it's a good one, a healthy one?
I mean, one of the things you can do is just kind of look at, how many things from a package you eat, on a daily basis. Typically, when you're eating things from a package, whether if you have to unwrap it in any way, most of the time it's kind of processed.
If it has a mom or dad, grows from the ground, comes from the sea,
Yeah.
then that's a good indicator.
Then it's
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So vending machine stuff's probably out.
Yeah, you want to stay away from it.
Were you looking at me when you
I
asked
was
that
not.
question?
I was
Okay,
not.
just wanted to check.
But the good news is CustomFit360 can help you with
Yeah.
this journey.
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
do you work with your clients?
So typically I like to always do one little one-on-one consultation where we just kind of sit down. It's super chill, casual. I treat it as like a get to know you, starting way down from the bottom. Let me know when you started working out, if you work out, how's your diet, how's your family life, and then we kind of go from there. I do like the little nitpickies, try to kind of, pick out where I feel like people are struggling, because typically people are struggling in certain areas that they don't realize that they're struggling, and then we kind of just come up with habit-based nutrition.
And once you get into that habit, it's easy to keep going.
Exactly,
And, yeah.
exactly. The number one reason why people get into nutrition programs, nutrition habits, and fall away from that is because they get themselves into little habits that are not sustainable, that they can't stick to. So I just try to help people build habits and build,
And help you with sustainable habits.
Sustainable.
You know,
Got to be
we coach you
realistic.
through it. We're with you the whole time. You know, it's not just like do this and go and you do it on your own. We try to make small changes to what you're doing on a regular basis,
Right.
so that way it's sustainable, and we coach you through it the whole time.
All right.
Nutrition is something we could talk about all day, isn't it?
It is,
Yeah.
for sure.
So, with that thought in mind, question, can you hang out with us for just a little bit and we'll go over to the DelmarvaLife kitchen and get kind of a hands-on approach to what we're
Yeah,
talking
I'm
Yeah.
hungry too. So.
about?
perfect.
Okay, sounds good.